Well, the Pentagon now planning to keep some U.S. troops in northeastern Syria to protect oil fields from ISIS terrorists. And the Kurdish military leader tells Fox News Turkey is continuing to attack in violation of a ceasefire. All this as hundreds of U.S. troops are making their way from Syria into neighboring Iraq after President Trump ordered their withdrawal. The Kurds are main allies in the fight against ISIS, calling it a betrayal. And Kurdish protesters pelting U.S. Army vehicles with shoes, rocks, even rotten fruit. Today, President Trump repeated his call to bring U.S. troops home from Syria. More on that in a moment. But first, Defense Secretary Mark Esper said the majority of American troops in northeast Syria would be going to western Iraq, not returning home. Lucas Tomlinson reporting live from the Pentagon. Lucas.
Trace, President Trump says he's under no obligation to protect the Syrian Kurds. Earlier today in Afghanistan, his defense secretary doubled down.
We had no obligation, if you will, to defend the Kurds against a longstanding NATO ally. But nowhere in there was that we would fight a longstanding NATO ally and in defense of the Kurds to enable the establishment of an autonomous Kurdish state, which is the aim of many Kurds.
Defense Secretary Esper also said not all U.S. troops would be leaving Syria as originally planned. Some would remain behind to guard valuable oil fields to keep them from falling into ISIS, Syrian regime, or Iranian hands. He says the plan still needs President Trump's approval.
Our forces will remain in the towns that are located near the oil fields. The purpose of those forces, working with the SDF, is to deny access to those oil fields by ISIS and others who may benefit from their revenues that could be earned. I've made no decision.
Sunday, the top Kurdish general of the Syrian Democratic Forces, the main U.S. ally against ISIS, told our colleague Jennifer Griffin in a phone interview Turkey has violated the ceasefire negotiated by Vice President Pence last week, and ethnic cleansing continues. General Mazloum says hundreds of Kurds have been killed and up to 400,000 displaced. Turkey calls General Mazloum a terrorist responsible for killing dozens of its citizens. Trace.
Talk to me about timelines now, Lucas. When does the U.S. negotiated ceasefire officially end?
Trace, the ceasefire ends when your show begins tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern. The Kurdish fighters who Turkey calls terrorists have not left their towns and posts. If they have not left Turkey's border, the large-scale fighting will resume, according to Turkey's defense ministry. The 5-day ceasefire gave most of the U.S. troops time to leave northeast Syria. Some of what the roughly 100 U.S. armored vehicles leaving were met by Kurdish protesters angry over what they call betrayal by President Trump, leaving them to be slaughtered by Turkish-backed forces. The Pentagon says some of these so-called mercenaries have carried out war crimes. The Kurds also say some of their homes have been looted. And tomorrow, Turkey's President Erdogan travels to Russia to meet President Putin. Trace.
Yeah, Lucas Tomlinson live for us. The Pentagon, of course, the hope being that temporary ceasefire would become permanent. Lucas, thank you.